What is up, rockers of the RockNation? This is your fellow rocker here, ex-Rockerman X, and I'm here right now with this week I should say, with this week's Walking Dead review. Season 6, Episode 12, Not Tomorrow Yet. And overall, this episode, I really don't know what to say, but I actually look at the camera now for once. But this episode, I mean, there was a lot to talk about. Because it was so tame, and then, like, in the beginning, and then it just went downhill from being tame. Well, I won't say downhill from being tame. Definitely was not tame. At all, actually, matter of fact. Because, literally, from the past 2 episodes being somewhat tame, and I specifically say somewhat tame, because, obviously, they were, compared to the other episodes that happened this season, and especially this episode, and I just find the beginning just so funny because, the last episode we got Maggie making a deal with Gregory from the hilltop. Oh, excuse me. But making the deal with the people from Hilltop and, to kill the saviors for, get the saviors out of the hair for exchange of half of everything they got, which is enough supplies and food for at least another month. And then the way just this episode begins is, like, totally thrown off. We got this happy music in the background, and we see, for the first time in episodes, Carol. It's like, she's in this happy baking mood, going through her day. She gets acorns, she puts, she makes these cookies. She does this thing. And it's this happy mood, even when, even with that other guy she's with, whatever the guy's name is, And then you have Rick and the rest of the group, along with Jesus, showing back up to Alexandria. And they utterly ruin the atmosphere. It goes from all this happy, joyous mom baking Carol to holy fucking shit. Shit's gonna go down. And that's one thing I like about Walking Dead, and this is one thing I've always liked about, is that the atmosphere. It can be this. The atmosphere can be one thing 1 minute, and then just like a slap to the face. And yes, I did this there, slap to the face. That looked a whole lot better. But just a slap to the face, it can change just like that, And then with this, though, you got, and then, with everything on back, Carol has this talk with Morgan, and Morgan's like, you're not telling people, it's just like you done it, and then as this whole talk goes on, she's questioning her. She's starting to question her sanity a bit, and starting to question her change, because it's like, as you can see, it's like, holy fuck, I've changed. And for a fact, Carol is one of the characters that's changed drastically throughout the whole series. Every character has changed, even a little bit. But definitely Carol has changed tenfold, if not more. And, it seems like she's even taken Morgan's side. At least to me, it seems like, she's even taken Morgan's side, where Rosita comes up to her. And when they're doing the plan to take out the saviors, and Rosita's like, well, whatever. And Carol's like, he didn't want to kill. So, initially, it seems like, in a way, she's taking his side even a little bit. So, but what really, really has Carol, and especially is how guilty she actually feels about Sam's dying, because you see Sam's grave, there's a cookie on it, or at least I assume there's a cookie on it from what they said on Talking Dead, which I didn't even notice the cookie. I just saw Sam's grave, and she was standing there. So presumably she does feel guilty about him dying, because Not granted, like, all the other kids, too, that has died around her. Her own daughters died within the first season, or second season. Well, first season. And second season, we found out what actually happened to her. And, what else can I think of? Some, Lizzie and the other one, and, of course, Sam now. And what she said to Sam directly affected him dying, because it was her words that he remembered. So it's like, goddamn. I don't know. You can tell she really feels guilty about it, and that's really all I gotta say about that. And then here we got You know, with not Morgan, with Rick talking to everyone in church. And, no, it just breaks down. So you got breakdown basically Morgan versus Rick again, but not battling each other. Because Morgan's like, we can talk to him, give him an option. Rick's like, no, we have to go and we have to kill him, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that, whatever. You know, killing versus being peaceful all over again, except instead it's Morgan versus Rick and not Morgan versus Carol. And, you know, it's kind of... But at the same time, you can kind of see how Morgan's... I'm trying to think of the word. It's like he's still in that mindset where, oh, I'm in, you know, because how he was taught by the other guy, I forget his name now, you know, still trying to resolve stuff peacefully. But he's starting to slip into that mindset of killing, and at the end of the episode, we see him, you know, he's whatever, fucking welding whatever he's welding, and it's just like, you know, he wants to, you know, he's sitting there debating, he's in his mind, he's not really, he stops and he thinks, you know, he's starting to take, I feel like he's starting to lean with, like, you know, he's still in his own mindset of not killing, but with what happened with Carol and with Rick and in the church, you know, it seems like he wants to help out or try to find somebody to help out that he knows he can do. And, you know, we see, again, like I said, through this too, the confliction of Carol. We see Glenn, you know, about Maggie. She's saying, you know, I made this deal, I have to go, blah, 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 blah. And then others. She's like, God damn. So, there's that. And it's just, this episode, again, was not very tame at all. And I will say this, you know. And then you got Abraham, at the worst time ever, making the quote about, what was it called, dingleberries? God damn it, Abraham. Abrahamlet, I should say. Because, god damn it. I'm not going to question him because he says some funny shit. Let me fix my camera a little bit. Oh my god. There. Because he does say some funny shit. And it's just like... What's fucked up is too, you know, you got these serious situations. And it's just Abraham right there that breaks the seriousness. And you got this stupid, goofy shit that goes on with his sayings. And it's just funny. But, you know, at the worst time ever, you know, he decides, oh, well, I'm leaving Rosita. You know, and, you know, he may have a deep love for Rosita. But at the same time, I really feel like that he seems heartless at the same time for just leaving her. Just like that, a snap of a finger, you know? She's just like, oh. Which literally, which you can tell, so it's heartbroken, you know, because the way he said it. But he still seemed heartless. He's like, you know, when I met you, I thought you were the only woman left in the world. When the truth is, you're not. Or however he worded it. And, you know, she literally freaked out and was broken by it. And you can tell how later it affects her and shit like that. And Eugene, I'm sorry. And see, again, with Eugene, you got that comic relief because he shows up at the worst time possible. And he's like, well, these are some good cookies or whatever. It's just fucked up. And it also seems to me she wants to take her anger out on people because, like she did with Carol, you know, like about Carol, about Morgan, you know, she seemed like she's taking her anger out on someone else, and it's just like, goddamn. So, Abraham and Rosita, no more at the moment. Whether they come back together, I doubt it, but who knows? But yeah, you know, with Tara and Denise, you know, Tara's feels like she's like Denise saying I love you, and you know they're talking, and Jesus is like, do you? And Gabriel's like, do you love her? And she's like, yes, and all that, blah blah blah. You know, and I like how and speaking of Jesus and Gabriel too, it's like they're the voice of reasons all of a sudden too. Like they're her voice of reason. I mean Jesus voice of reason. What you expect? And I just realized something. Gabriel's so acting like the priest. It's kind of fucking hilarious because you got Jesus there. It's kind of actually funny. But yeah, you know. And then, with that being said, you know, and I do kind of like Denise and Tara together as well. I mean, it makes sense for the most part. But then Tara and Rosita too, it makes sense. But one's in the women, one's in the guys. So there you go. But seriously though, you know, here with this, we got Hilltop in the main group, aka the guys going off on the raid against survivors. And they made this plan, they make these sketches, you know, talk out it, like what's possibly there, and then... You know, they're like, hey, I want Negan wants Gregory's head. What did they do? They give him Gregory's head. How did he give him Gregory's head? They don't kill Gregory. They kill 3 walkers and choose from it. The one that looks closest. And there you go. Oh, yeah. Which, actually, I'm not going to lie, is a fucked up way to go about it. But hey. Well, fucked up is the hair still there, too. But hey, they got Gregory's head for him, essentially. And with that, they... whatever the plan. They put the plan into action, which is a stealth mission, which is rare for a stealth mission to ever happen, and rarely goes as planned, especially for stealth in this world, because, like, hell, something's going to go wrong, And, during this mission, we see Glenn literally kill his first human, or at least I believe, or everybody says, hey, it's his first kill, his first human kill, and, he did it, Heath was about to do it. Glenn already crossed the line and took it after him to give that glyph to Heath and not have experience killing a person. But along the walls of this, you see pictures of people that the Saviors killed, and it's like they keep them as trophies. It's kind of fucked up, but at the same time, it's like, goddamn. Now we got Abraham and Sasha work together which was expected, only to get caught later. Which, it's weird because seeing how the two kind of work together, they know that it's like, because where Abraham and Rosita was the only two that had military experience, and then you see Abraham and Sasha work together. It's like, granted they worked together before, but seeing them two work together, they seem to have a chemistry type thing, like they know what they're doing without, instead of them both going into the room and kill, they switch, one goes in, one goes out, they kind of, it's kind of weird saying that, but I feel like, there is something there between them. Whether Sasha wants to show it or not, or Abraham actually wants to show it towards her, which he already has to break him to Rosita, but still, which that in itself caused the alarm to go off of that whole getting caught, and when the alarm goes off, and the stealth mission's over, and all hell breaks loose, turns into a fucking firefight. God damn, it's fucking beast. And that's kind of what I like about the show. And I remember there's one camera angle, too, when, like, Rosita shot this guy, and you can see the blood splatter, like, in the corner of the screen on the counter. Granted, it's probably on the wall, but still, it's like, oh, it's on the camera. So I kind of like that effect. It was really good. But, yeah, with that, and you kind of have Carol wanting to protect Maggie, saying, oh, you shouldn't be here, you're not going in there, blah, 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 blah. Which is understandable because, Carol has seen Sam die, or she didn't really see Sam die, but Sam died, and, no, she was there, wasn't she? No, she wasn't. But, she wasn't there at that moment when Sam died, but still, Sam died, her own daughter died again, other kids died, like Lizzie and all of them. She wants to protect Maggie because, Maggie is pregnant, so, which, in the end, they end up captured by some of the remaining survivors, or saviors, which, my question is, with that being said, how many fucking saviors are there? This is my question, because that's just one compound. Where's the rest come from, That's what really makes me think. It's just like, goddamn, And then this too, we got Jesus. I keep supposed to say, I laugh every time I can't think about it. But you got Jesus. Literally, he's like, they're not going to see me. And he's literally dressing like some sort of fucking ninja. And, when Glenn and Heath jumps in the armory, I'm assuming it's the armory, close the door, and they shoot through the door. They open it when the guy's still alive. He pops a gun, and all of a sudden you hear a gunshot, and it's Jesus standing there, like, this is the next world, or whatever, yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like Jesus. It's fucking hilarious, I think, with Jesus. People say, he's just a normal guy, and there's rumors say, is this guy really Jesus? And I still feel like that rumor is like, he is just a normal guy, but I still feel like he's Jesus, because, historically speaking, they say Jesus, in not religion, but historically speaking, they say Jesus is just a normal guy. And historical speaking, not religious speaking, I don't want to get into that, but historically speaking, and it's just weird, like, he's doing this to protect other people, too. like, like Jesus would and stuff. Like, he acts how Jesus basically would. And I know I said this last time, but it's kind of fucking hilarious to me, you know. And then on top of that, Aaron gets in on the action, it's like, if it's not, something that had basically saying that had to be them, had to be the Alexandrians, or it had to be the Saviors. Ultimately, in the end, it had to be the Saviors, And then, what I found fucking hilarious, Gabriel's still wearing his priest outfit. He's like basically becoming his warrior priest, and has his gun, and and he's like sitting there walking on his guy, and the guy's like whatever, and he's still alive, talking whatever, and Gabriel's just sitting there, reciting stuff, saying my lord, whatever, has many mansions in his house, stuff like that, and just pulls the trigger on the guy, and it's just I don't know, I just find that hilarious, just because he's like gun, and then it's like he's walking in his priest outfit, holding a gun. It's just hilarious. I don't know. But overall, this episode was very enjoyable. Especially with that fight. I mean, I don't know. Especially with that, with the confliction we see in Glenn's eyes again, with stuff about him, getting his first kill, his first human kill, I should say, because he never killed a human before. Well, he never killed a human. I don't think that wasn't after him, like, actually going, But with that being said, and the plan initiated, what would it say for people say that some people's probably going to say that Alexandria and Rick and all of them crossed the line. All of them saying no, they didn't cross the line. Well, how do I want to say this? They did not cross the line. Rick and all of them are still the good guys. Why do I want to say that? Well, it's not because I'm biased against this group, because we've seen this group throughout all 6 seasons so far. But why do I want to say so the good guys? Because there's times the governor, the wolves, and obviously Terminus, of course, came after him too. And in a sense, Terminus came after him because cannibal, stuff like that. But in prison, at the prison, the governor, the wolves, after the bad guys, the bad guys, aka at this point the saviors, the reasoning, which is logic, every other bad guy that he's had, they found Rick in the group some way, and they're going to come after him. So they need to start doing the effort, put in the push, and they have to go after the guy, after the people that's going to come after them before they come out. You know what I'm saying? Before Rick and the Alexandrians are going to have to go after the saviors for the saviors come after them, which is perfectly good logic, because honestly enough, it's true. If you're, I guess, unfortunate enough where you can't, where, granted, if any zombie apocalypse, your worries is also going to be humans as well. Not just, what I was going to say, not just walkers. Everyone knows this is inevitable at some point. At least how I see it. But, if, whether you're fortunate enough to not have to deal with humans, you can easily only deal with walkers, or if you're unfortunate enough to where you have to deal with both ends, or you have to deal with humans, like murderous humans wanting to kill you, that I can logic in my head, because you're going to have to go after them sooner or later before they come after you. But overall, this episode, I would have to give it a 10, probably. If not a 10, maybe a 9. 9.5 out of 10 stars, whatever. But overall, I did this episode, no matter what people say, was very, very enjoyable. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say. And until next time, guys, live free and rock.